apparently some people are talking about how Cole Bogner is better set than Jakob Tell. What is your opinion on that, Mike? I think you know the two the best because you work with Cole, yeah?
Hawaii just plays their game, man. They just don't make mistakes from the service line. So I think it's less on Hawaii and more on Penn State.
Think it's gonna be Hawaii who overall. I'm giving you a preview of my pick. I think Hawaii is gonna again make it to their fourth consecutive national championship. Yeah, fourth consecutive national championship, which is crazy.
You can handle the heat. Yeah. You can handle the heat.
Booyaka Shell, welcome back to that episode of Can't Handle the Heat. It's your boy G Swizz to my left, very comfortably in the blanket beside me on the couch. How we doing, Jokesy?
Good. We're on summer vacation now.
Yeah, we'll get into that a little more later. Season's coming over. At the end of the podcast, we'll discuss what we have next in plan. Still alive and breathing real well down in the most southern part of Europe. We got the Micah mom. Micah, how we doing, brother?
Doing good, brother. How we doing?
Good man. Must be nice to be alive. Before we get into it, I just want to say the Slunks drop Monday. If you're listening to this right now, you still have a chance. You have about 4 hours. If you're the first 4 hours to listen to this podcast, you still have a chance to get the Slunks because I guarantee you they will go in 5 minutes. If you don't get them now, the Trinities will be available 6 p.m. PST Monday, the day of this podcast. If you're listening 4 hours too late, sorry, they're probably gone.
As you know, we drop it one time. We don't drop them ever again, so
Yeah. So
make sure you're sitting on the site.
Get them while they're hot.
Exactly. People ask us to try and be like, bring them back. Hey, man, we don't do retro. Oos is not retro. Oos is now. That was good. You guys like that one?
Yeah.
That's pretty good.
That was nice.
That's pretty good.
That was nice.
That's pretty nice. Also, while we're at it, if you want to show some more support, not just getting the Slunks, hit the subscribe button. Show us some love. You know what I'm saying? If you want to see more of us on the couch, 3 Dolos, usually a guest, hit the subscribe button. We love you. Turn your notifications on. And also, before we get into it, I also want to give a shout out to our sponsor and our friends at allvolleyball.com. Summer's here. Summer's now. You don't need to be a professional volleyball player in order to enjoy the game. Guess what? You can go in your backyard. You can set up a court anywhere. And you can't do that without an actual volleyball court, a portable volleyball court. And thanks to our friends at All Volleyball, they have that. Among other balls, such as the optics ball, the best ball that I think I've ever played with in my life, my favorite ball to play with, whether it's beach, whether it's grass, hell, you can play it on the indoor. We don't care. As well as other Park and Sun nets, they have it. Use the promo code GWIDDY for 20% off, GWIDDY. Congratulations for paying you to get 20% off to play the sport that you love. Let's get into it. The NCAA championships are of recent. I'm gonna be honest. We watch a lot more pro volleyball these days than college volleyball. I know that Joe does. Micah, do you, how much do you pay attention to NCAA volleyball?
A little bit now. This year more than the others. So a little.
Do you follow more your alma mater of UCLA, or is it just like do you follow everything?
More UCLA. And I've seen some Hawaii matches as well. Some Pepperdine matches. I don't think they're in it.
Right.
Long Beach. Saw some. GCU, I saw some. I actually have seen some. This
Good
year
man.
more than any other year.
Well, for me, it's only because shout out to Dustin Watt and Nosy Buckets. That's the only reason I know very much. They kind of like keep me updated about rankings and the tournament and everything. That's the only reason I know about it.
For me, it's Mumu Kaujani.
Yeah, Mumu Kaujani is a big one. Shout out to Mumu Kaujani.
And also Gert Leisha has a nice podcast that he's kind of started about the college game. And I've listened to a few of them because I put Thomas Jasky, who's a good friend of his. And he was like, hey, you should check it out and listen to it and let him know what you think of it, seeing how you're a podcast master. And
Been called.
So I just gave him a little advice from, being a podcast master and everything like that.
That's true. Joe, what about you?
College game, I pay a decent amount of attention to. I'm pretty aware, I think, of like more so the top teams, like the middle of the pack, especially being UH alum and everything, just kind of keeping up on the loop. I also noticed on Twitter, I tweeted something 2 weeks ago, responding to something. There's all these people on Twitter who are like the analysts, what are the college analysts? But everybody is just always jumping at the opportunity to just throw shade at UH nowadays, which I hadn't seen that before, but now I mean,
Really?
I guess back to back
so?
national champions will do that, but all the time it's like, dude,
In what way?
I get on there if they drop a single set or if teams, because they always get crap for their RPI. UH has always done that with Charlie Wade scheduling, but if like a team that UH, beat or whatever, in the year lost to somebody, people will be talking about, oh, tonight was not a good night for UH men's volleyball. A team that they beat in the conference, Carolinas, lost to. I'm like, dude, they're beating Long Beach tonight, or they're beating everything good. They're beating UCLA tonight. Like, who the hell cares how the teams that they beat in the conference, Carolinas, are doing? That was always, to me, really interesting, because I feel like that type of stuff doesn't matter at all. If you're beating the top teams, then you're going to get into the tournament. Like, all the other stuff is kind of frustrating to me, how much of those types of matches go into making the NCAA tournament. But it's also good for why they're expanding the event here in the next coming years.
Yeah, well, it's also because when they do have those losses, obviously they play like teams that are not that great, and then they're like, oh, they have one not great game against whoever it is, and then they freak out.
Yeah.
But also, who are these analysts? Who are these like so-called analysts? Have you ever met a volleyball analyst that knows anything about volleyball or any experience with volleyball or seen?
Yeah, most analysts, definitely analysts in volleyball, I guess, haven't played volleyball at that high of a level, I would say. I think that's fair to say. Like, most people that I see doing
Why don't we have our analyst on here?
Jake Myers?
Yeah.
That's true.
He just there was a darty going on right now. He couldn't make it.
Yeah.
Vice president of the frat. You got responsibility now. No, but anyway, that's just something that's true. Like, everyone, I mean, when you're back to back, probably gonna go three-peat, rep Hawaii. Just the shade's gonna be thrown at you from the so-called analysts. I wouldn't even call us analysts, to be honest.
No, we're not qualified.
But yet somehow they are. But anyways, that's one.
Yeah, let's get it. What does the bracket look like, Gage?
All right, let's get in the bracket. So there are 7 teams in the bracket for men's volleyball. For women, there are 64 teams. For men, there are a grand whopping total of 7. So the first round I don't even know what these round structure. Huh? Yeah, it's such a weird, an odd number in a bracket system is just so bad.
It's usually not a great idea.
So you have a couple playing games. So the playing game is Ohio State versus King, and the winner of that will face Penn State. And I'm guessing, we'll see who wins that. And the winner of that will go on to face will face Hawaii in the semifinals. On the other side of the bracket, you have GCU versus Long Beach. Really good first matchup. Since there's an odd number of teams, there's no playing game. That's just the quarterfinals.
Okay.
And then the winner plays UCLA in the semifinals. And the winner of both those matches go in to play the final. Also, Joe, do you know why there's 7 teams in the bracket?
It always comes down to money stuff, for sure, for NCAA. Like, the people making decisions on that, it's always money stuff. So I'm sure they look at the budget and figure. I don't know the exact reason, but it usually comes down to that.
But one more team?
Yeah, I don't know the exact number, but it's always has to do with budget stuff.
Okay.
I would imagine.
What do you say we make it 6 or 8, huh, guys?
Yeah, I mean, I would rather have 6 than 7 at times. No, I mean, I know there's probably
I would
not.
much rather have 6 than 7. It just doesn't seem right to have 7.
And it's probably not good for like the lower. Actually, it'd be worse for the better teams actually, because then obviously if you win your conference, you automatically get a bid in.
Right, yeah.
So the at-large bid. So then probably, and then with that being said, talking about the at-large bid, I know that UC Irvine beat Long Beach in the Big West semifinal to get into the final, and then they lost to Hawaii in 4. And then I know there's a lot of like chirp about, UC Irvine should be in. But at the end of the day, if you have a team like Long Beach who's been at the top for like
I've seen that done before,
year.
huh, guys?
Yeah. So and it was UC Irvine. I have
seen
friends of the team of Irvine. Yeah.
I've seen a team make it to the Big West finals and not get the at-large bid.
No, but
I've
Long
seen
Beach beat him twice
before.
in the season. Long Beach, if they would have split,
okay.
We split with UCI in season. Beat him in the Big West Conference 3-0. And we're the only team to beat Long Beach that whole entire season.
And we had a better RPI. Everything was there. Literally everything was there.
There was not one If you look at the one thing they had against us was they had, I think, 1 or 2 more wins on the road or something like that.
Yeah, we had a little streak there.
But everything else, it was just ridiculous.
Bush League, as Joe would say.
Okay.
All right, let's go over predictions here. All right, who you got? Let's go with the playing game. Ohio State versus King. Who do you guys got? I'm gonna go first.
State.
Oh yeah, I'm gonna go first. Joe.
Ohio State.
I have Ohio State as well. Next game would be Penn State versus Ohio State. When Penn State was the number 1 seed, Ohio State did upset them just recently.
First week, 2 days they were the number 1 seed, and then after they beat Hawaii.
Off.
I still have Penn State. I think they're
Joe?
they got a lot of seniors.
Yeah,
Get a lot of experience. They've been playing together for a long time. I think
that actually helps them that they lost to Ohio State because that
it
gets you a little
can.
more dialed on that. I think that prepares them a little bit better for this. I think definitely Penn State into the semis.
Yep, I'm taking Penn State as well. Fun fact: if you're an old OG Addison follower, our first Wapaka, me, Joe, and Dalton, our first game together, we went to go play Dave White's work and a club volleyball kid and a D3 volleyball player, and we lost in grass.
Didn't lose. We got
No, it was in
smoked.
3. It was in 3. It wasn't like a smoke, and it was like 2 days right before Wapaka, and obviously it's traditional to lose right before Wapaka per usual in practice or whatever. And this kid now is the libero for Penn State. So shout out to him.
Oh, that
Next
guy's
up-
good.
Yeah, he's really good. He's super good. He was originally at Ohio State.
Respect.
Yeah. Next, you got Penn State versus Hawaii in the semifinal match of the national championship.
Dude, a question for you guys before you answer
This
this.
is this is the match right here.
Question for you is, I apparently some people are talking about how Cole Bogner's better set than Jakob Tello. What is your opinion on that, Mike? I think you know the two the best because you work with Cole, yeah.
Yeah, I did have work with Cole a little, maybe once or twice. In my opinion, they have very different offenses that they're a part of. Like Jakob plays pretty slow balls everywhere. He's got Galloway. He's got Demetrius on the backside. Like there's no real speed going in any direction. I haven't seen him play with somebody that needs speed, so I don't know exactly what he plays like with that. But he's a better server. At the net, he's really solid. And out of system, I feel like he is better. He gives really nice balls out of system, going both ways. In system, I just think Bogner, with just the style of their offense, I think he's able to do more. It's kind of like when you look at quarterbacks in the NFL. It's like sometimes the system really fits somebody, and sometimes it just doesn't allow somebody to show what exactly they're able to do.
Mm-hmm.
And so I wouldn't be able to choose, and I think it's an unfair comparison. I think they're both very, very good setters. I think the setting this year is really strong. I know the GCU setter was had a lot of game. It was pretty crafty. Obviously the UCLA setter is really, really big talent. It'd be a bigger talent than all of us were. So I think the setting is super high level right now. What about you? Have you been able to watch?
I watched Jakob a decent amount. It's funny. Capono Faye, the assistant coach, texted me because he's asking about some feedback on the offense and everything, and so that's I actually looked a little bit more in depth after Gabe asked me that because I hadn't watched the team a whole lot. But I think you hit it on the point. It's in important moments, Jakob's never gonna, I guess, make a decision or try to do something that's gonna lose you the match technically, but also at the same time, I feel with his offense, it's very like you said, it's simple, slower.
You have a hittable ball.
Yeah, exactly, and that's kind of the style he plays with. Plays middle mostly when he's in good position, in a balanced position, straight up and down. And that's totally fine because you need that because he has so many super good
2
athletes.
national championships like that.
And experienced hitters. Everybody he's playing with is super experienced guys, physical guys. And so you don't want somebody who's going to come in there and I think
decide to take it all on their own shoulders.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And I think there's teams out there who do have setters that, hinder their abilities to perform and win a championship. And he's definitely not one of those guys. And he's just a very well-rounded player. Played beach volleyball most of his career. also with Top Volley Norway. And so you see that kind of translated into his setting style, I guess. I haven't watched a whole lot of Cole, but to you, Micah, what is the deciding factor in this matchup? If it happens here in the Final Four, what's going to determine who wins this match and makes it into the national championship?
That's a great question. I think serve and reception, actually. Like it looked like in the, is it the outrigger?
The outrigger, yeah, it's still the outrigger, yeah.
Yeah. It looked like Penn State was able to serve really well some nights and serve not very well some nights. And I've been on some teams like that. Go Bruins. And I think that's probably going to be a deciding factor, as well as the serve reception. If they're able to like receive and keep Wagner at the net, I think offensively they're just a lot stronger. They're pretty balanced. Their opposite's really solid. Both their pins are solid. They got good middles. So if they can just keep the offense inside of 3 meters, I think that's a huge difference. And then Hawaii just plays their game, man. They just don't make mistakes from the service line. So I think it's less on Hawaii and more on Penn State. I think Hawaii, you know what you're going to get. They're going to play solid. They're going to play well. They're going to do everything really well.
Yeah.
And then it's just about if Penn State does something that sometimes they don't do great really well, or if they don't do it very well. I don't know if that's a good explanation, but
no, 100%. I think that's the huge, for me, like the turning point though, is exactly what you said, is that part of it is like Hawaii is just so steady and knows how to be steady, and they've won now 2 championships, this same exact team. And so that ability just to be steady, you know, with the added pressure now of like NCAA tournament, like all that stuff, even though they are kind of a senior heavy team in Penn State, I think it's going to be Hawaii who overall, I'm giving you a preview of my pick. I think Hawaii is going to, again, make it to their fourth consecutive national championship. Yeah, fourth consecutive national championship, which is crazy.
I think I would choose Hawaii as well.
Yeah.
I just think
it's so difficult.
We've seen a lot of like teams in the past be able to win 2. Like I think it's like kind of a cycle that's been happening.
The past,
like Long Beach, you guys,
repeats.
Yeah, Ohio State before when we were freshmen.
Loyola
before that. Like there's just something about being there before and like that little bit more of experience and having a group that's pretty consistent group that you've played with for a while that just always seems to edge out teams maybe that have more talent, or maybe that, I don't know, whatever the case is, but haven't had that experience or haven't had that chemistry for a while. So I'll take Hawaii as well. I think it's a good pick. It's a safer pick for sure.
I'll take Hawaii as well. You know, we're at it just because experience. Same team as Joe said. Let's go to the other side of the bracket. This will be a really good one, I think. GCU brings, I think, the best energy versus Long Beach, who also brings really good energy. But Long Beach does have more, what's the freaking word I'm thinking of? More experience.
Names?
Yeah, names and experience for sure. So I think it'll be a tight one, but I think either 3-1 or definitely 3-2. I'm going to take Long Beach on this one.
The thing here is, if you're looking for the best celebrations in the sport, definitely take a look at the purple team, because they're going to watch their bench the entire match, because these guys bring it. These guys, like all 20 guys on the roster, bring it every single match, and it's impressive actually. I think they have to choreograph that. They have to like meet outside and choreograph some of this stuff,
like the Gwitty.
Yeah, maybe they need a special guest appearance. Gage shows
Just
up.
Gage Gwitty out of nowhere.
Is it Arizona State where they have that curtain at basketball games where the curtain opens up?
Yeah, it is.
They need to have that for. They have like special guests sometimes.
Yeah,
like it needs to be Gage.
Was Phelps there?
Yeah. Oh yeah. They get a lot of big
Arizona
name
State
people there to come make a guest appearance. That needs to be Gage guest appearance celebration.
I do that club tournament too.
Yeah, I mean, the Grand Canyon team's physical. I think they're more, like you said, a huge wild card. Like I 100% can see them beating Long Beach. if they're feeling it and bringing it and their servers are going. Especially because Long Beach recently, I haven't been super impressed with their offense and also their ability to just like play steady volleyball. You just see like a lot of up and down from them. And that's always concerning, especially going into the playoffs, and especially against a team like Grand Canyon where they feed off just the momentum and energy. I think that's the type of team that once they get rolling, like it's dangerous to kind of slow down. So, with a team like Long Beach who's been up and down, who will give runs away at a time, I think that could be dangerous with a Grand Canyon team. And so I'm actually gonna go with Grand Canyon. I gotta go a little off the beaten path. I'm gonna take Grand Canyon over Long Beach first match. First time Grand Canyon's ever been in the
Yeah, I was about to say
NCAA
congrats,
tournament.
guys. That's pretty sick. First time in the tournament. That'd be huge, huge, huge. Make the semifinals. That'd be so big. That'd be so. And I'll be rooting for GCU though too, for sure. I love GCU. I love those guys.
I'm gonna take GCU as well. I thought I might have been the only one, but I don't know. I think if
Not
there
special.
is, I don't want to just play the whole bracket straightforward. And if there is a chance for something, I think it might be this match as well. I think GCU could, and so I'm going with it. I'm putting my money on them.
I like that.
Even
I
though
like
Long
that.
Beach, I will say that like Knipe is a very experienced coach and has like done a really good job, and I've heard nothing but amazing things about that. And I think also coaching is important, but I don't know. GCU, let's try it. Let's roll the dice. Go
It's an
Lobos.
older team too.
It's
They
true.
are an older
experienced.
team.
They are experienced.
I don't know. Yeah. First time in the NCAA tournament though, but yeah.
We'll see what happens. The picks are in. So the next round will be UCLA, already standing there, versus GCU or Long Beach. I'm taking UCLA with the Hawaii UCLA final. A little Charlie Wade versus Johnny Speraw. A little showdown.
Ooh.
And then we're gonna get them in a ring together, and it's gonna be an absolute bloodbath. We're gonna get them in the octagon afterward.
Best friends.
When we're the two best friends. Sorry.
Yeah, I think though we skipped over the UCLA Green Canyon match quickly, but I think, yeah, I just think UCLA is playing too good for any team from that side of the bracket to beat them. I mean, it will be interesting, obviously, with the freshman setter. You never know what that entails, especially in the NCAA tournament. He's been playing well, but you never know once you get like this point of the season what can happen. So we'll see, but I definitely think UCLA is just too well-rounded.
Yeah.
For Grand Canyon to really hang with them. I don't think it'll really be close.
Yeah, I think UCLA as well. I don't think it'll be so close either. I think team looks really solid. They're super balanced. They make less errors than previous UCLA teams, I feel like, with like Knight and Champlin on the pins. It's kind of a little bit more stable and in reception, and even in service, they make less mistakes there. And then the setter's really good. The opposite's a beast, and yeah, they got a good chance. I still don't know who I'm taking this final round, so I'll go last. But I definitely have UCLA in the final against Hawaii on the other side.
So you're predicting a Brew win?
I don't know. I'm going last. I want to hear what you guys have to say.
for the semifinals.
Yeah.
Okay. Shout out to UCLA's media.
What do you think is UCLA's most redeeming qualities?
What's redeeming qualities? What do you mean by that?
Why do you not hate them? I'm just kidding. No. Redeeming qualities is like something, their strengths.
Their strengths?
Like why do
No.
they win matches? Because X happens, or when they lose matches, it's because this happens.
Oh, I think it's probably safe to say offensively. Like we've never been a very like heavy block and D team. As like Long Beach has been always better at blocking defense. You guys have been always better at blocking defense. We've never been like a block and defense centric team. So I think definitely their offense. They run freaking speed on the backside from anywhere on the court, and then also they play pretty quick to the pin in the front, and their middles are solid, man. McHenry is really
Mismatch
hard,
for
really
everybody.
hard to stop. Really hard to stop.
How
So, I
how
think
much of the
offense- Offense for sure.
Offense. How much of the UCLA defensive system is like off numbers and statistics and like optioning and stuff like that? Is there a lot of that goes on in UCLA block defense?
I can only speak about when I was there because I think when Javier Weber, the Argentinian coach, joined the national team, from what I've heard, he had a really big impact on the block and defense system. And I don't know how much of that Spra has taken and implemented like recently this year, because we did have a play like called Argentina, and it was like an idea of Javier Weber's because they were friends before he joined the team, and it was actually it was a very successful play for us, and I don't want to give it up actually, so after maybe I can
But
talk about
can
it.
you answer the
But
question?
yeah, I'll answer the question. Sorry.
Interrogating it.
It's less by rotation than we do it overseas. It's, from what I remember, it was more. There's not very many options going on at all. I can also say that.
Okay, so
There's no direct options. It's a lot of reading.
Okay.
A
I
lot
was
of
wondering
reading.
because at UH you're in a straight read all the time. There's no options. Like there's none of
Yeah,
that.
UCLA, I would say same.
And Long Beach,
Hard to remember.
maybe a commit every once in a while, but the best defensive teams I think are really good in the read. I think when you're training blockers, I see a lot of younger teams and stuff, especially in club, like seeing these clubs like 15, 16 just training like options. I'm like, these kids need to be able to read. Like in the middle, you need to be everything else will come way easier, but read blocking is like the eye work and ball setter, ball hitter, all that stuff. You need to be able to do that, because all the other stuff can be learned after that. I think it's really tough. Like if you're not good at read blocking,
Yeah.
it's difficult to come back to that.
It's a good point. If you're playing the long game, for sure, as a kid, you should be read blocking.
Yeah.
Yeah, we were in
Yeah.
more reads, I would say. Yeah.
I mean, even having Lo Sarah on last week, you heard about it. Like the offenses now are so like tricky. That in system offense, it's definitely gambling more so sometimes.
It's a lot more gambling.
Yeah.
A lot more.
Medium situations, you got to be able to close, and it's harder nowadays because it's faster. Like even balls 3 meter lines, professional level, that's pretty in. I think most college players and stuff would consider that in system because it's still so fast at the pin. But you got to be able, like, as soon as the ball gets 3 meters, 4 meters, you got to be able to close the pins as a middle blocker.
You know what I was just thinking? I think UCLA is actually a pretty good matchup against Hawaii. And I think that showed in that rigor tournament. And I think that Penn State is a pretty good matchup against UCLA. So I think that Hawaii-Penn State match has a lot to do with the success of UCLA in the final.
But
I really
Penn
do.
State, for some reason, you might be right, but I thought the opposite in a way. I think UH will smack Penn State in the semis. And I think the UCLA, Hawaii, because playing on a neutral floor now, people, I mean, we talk about it, but you're like playing on a neutral floor for Hawaii, especially flying over the East Coast, like that's going to be a little bit weird for them. Luckily, they'll have some time to adjust and stuff, but
they have some experience with that, right? Because some of them were on that
they
team
do that
in
every year.
Columbus. That won in Columbus, and then last year they won at UCLA. So they have a little bit more experience with that. I do know, Gage, that UCLA beat Penn State and Penn State beat Hawaii in the outrigger thing. But I think the thing that you got to do against UCLA is serve well. And I think Hawaii, they don't make mistakes, but I don't know if they have the service pressure that Penn State has. And I think that's a big key for me of like trying to beat this UCLA team. You got to kind of get them to 3 meters. And also they got a big middle at Penn State that is pretty long and is a good blocker. And I think that's kind of the only chance to slow down McHenry as well. And so if you can get the rotations lined up where he's in the front row while McHenry's in the front row, and then you can serve pretty well, I think That's when UCLA might struggle a little bit more.
Okay.
That's just my idea.
Yeah. No, like you said, once the ball gets rolled out and stuff, we'll kind of see. That's the funny stuff always about like whenever I watch like NFL or NBA playoffs, like these pre-shows, they're talking like, oh yeah, it's like you never know till the ball once the ball
sure.
gets rolled out. These people talk to you and they convince you of this one thing. It's like you never know till everything kind of gets rolled out there and how guys are feeling and all this stuff. So
it's true. Who are you taking in the finals?
I'm going 3-peat for the Boyz.
You see, 3-peat Hawaii.
I think I think they'll do it. I said this after last year. I think I didn't even think teams are gonna be close to them. There's definitely teams that are competing with them, but I still think that they're gonna be able to put it together here at the end.
So then I'll go with UCLA. I'll go with my own too then.
Wow.
A Brew win.
A Brew win. Shout out to social media manager for UCLA. Not Brew lose.
No.
But I think also the longer the match goes, I think UH becomes a little bit more of a favorite. Like we go to 5, I'll be a little nervous. Not gonna lie.
Once points get past 15, I'm nervous for you. After 10-all,
Once
things are not
once
looking
the
good
serve goes into the court, I'm a little concerned.
As soon as that 2-hour mark and the warm up starts, not looking good for UCLA. All I'm saying is we are professional analysts. This is a Gage guarantee. So I think
An ultimate showdown. John Sprout, Charlie Wade.
they should just do it.
Everybody in the college volleyball world knows that these two
Also,
love each other.
Knipe in there is.
Knipe and Wade.
And I don't think what's
Charlie versus everyone really.
Knipe and Sprout
That sounds
too.
about right.
I feel like all of those coaches, they have a little chip.
Nothing like anyone versus Charlie. Chucky says enemy number 1. Are you kidding me? Public enemy number 1, and I love him for it. You know.
And he accepts that.
Oh, he embraces
loves
it. He'll never help his case anyway. Too.
Yeah.
That's the beauty of it.
No, he's very aware of it. People, yeah.
That's good. Good man. Well, we're gonna get Chucky. We're gonna somehow trick Alan Knight, John Sprout, and Charlie Wade to get in a room together, like a podcast. Oh, we need all 3 of them enter from different rooms,
You may
different
enter.
doors. Oh man, that'd be awesome.
It's like a blind
They'll
thing
be
where
like, no.
all of a sudden the curtains
No.
come up and
Yeah,
they're
yeah.
just sitting all in a room together with us.
Oh, that'd be great. Great content. With that being said, guys, hope you guys enjoyed our brackets. Let us know. What do you guys pick? Let us know below. We'll check you guys out. The first game starts May 30th, so it does start.
No.
April 30th. Sorry, it does start yesterday. If you're watching this now, the King Ohio State game already happened. Then May 2nd's the next, or May 2nd's the next game, I believe, right? May 2nd's the next game is the quarterfinals. So let us know you guys' picks. We want to know. If you haven't already, please show the boys some love. Subscribe. We love you guys. And also, Trinities are out. You're going to get 4 hours if you're watching this real early. You better get on topic because once they're out, they out. You know what I'm saying?
They
It's
gone.
done. Hey, out of system ain't retro. We now. So make sure you guys get on that. And also, I want to give another shout out to our friends at allvolleyball.com. Guess what? They can't play the games this weekend without a ball, right, Joe?
Yes.
Can they play without a net?
No.
It's probably not legal to play without shoes, right?
They
And what do they have to
jerseys.
be wearing?
You know, I actually heard that you might be able to play with no shoes.
Okay.
I asked Namir this. I said, do you think somebody could play with no shoes? And he said, yeah, why not?
Well, here's the thing. Can't play without socks. You know? Shout out to allvolleyball.com for having all the accessories, all volleyball. Everything volleyball they'll have. Literally everything volleyball. If you don't believe me,
It's in the title.
it's true. It's true. Self-explanatory. Need a hair tie? Whatever you need. You know what I'm saying? Can't do it without.
Marshmallow knee pads?
That's true. All volleyball. You want smaller knee pads? They got it. They got it. If you don't believe us, look for yourself. Hit the link in the bio. Congratulations. You got 20% off. Quiddy. GWIDDY. 20% off. We're paying you. Congratulations. With that being said, love you, boys. And if you can't handle the heat, goddamn kitchen. This has been another episode presented by allvolleyball.com. Wicked. Respect.